Hello dear students, grade 9, welcome back. I'm Miss Meisaء with you. Today we are going to have unit 12, the last unit in our book. And the title of the unit is Communicate. So the title is Communicate, and the subtitle says Silent yet talking. Silent yet talking. Let's communicate in a different way. Let's communicate in a different way. What is the way that we are going to communicate, and how is our new communication will be? First of all, before we start, let's have some ideas about the new words, and in order to know their meanings, when you will see the other information, will be easy for you to understand. The keywords here are the following. The first word is signal. Signal, which is a noun. It is a noun, and it means an action that shows what someone feels. An action that shows what someone feels. The second word, convey. Convey. It is a verb. It is a verb, and it means to make ideas, feelings known to somebody. So the word convey means to make ideas or feelings known to somebody. The third, indicate. Indicate. Also it is a verb, and it means to show something is true. So indicate means to show something is true. The fourth, determine. Determine. Also it is a verb, to find out the facts about something. So determine is a verb, and it means to find out the facts about something. Number 5, clasping. Clasping. It is an adjective, and it means holding something tight in your hand. Holding something tight in your hand. The 6th, anxious. Anxious. It is an adjective, which means worried about something. So the word anxious means worried about something. Next, the word frustrated. Frustrated, which is also an adjective, and it means feeling annoyed or upset. Feeling annoyed or upset. The last word here is deaf. Deaf, which is an adjective also, and it says, or it means physically unable to hear. Physically unable to hear. So the words, again the keywords, which are very important in order to understand the text. Signal, noun. An action that shows what someone feels. Convey, a verb, to make ideas, feelings known to somebody. Indicate, a verb, to show something is true. Determine, verb, to find out the facts about something. Clasping, adjective, holding something tight in your hand. Anxious, an adjective, worried about something. Frustrated, an adjective, feeling annoyed or upset. Deaf, an adjective, physically unable to hear. These are the words, dear students. I hope that you have guessed all the meanings and you get them. Now we're going to move to something else. Now, we have a vocabulary exercise. Let's do it and then start our text. Regarding the words here, they want us to arrange some verbs and change them into nouns. The first word is communicate. Communicate. Think with me, what is the noun of this word? And then we have the word express. Express. Also it is a verb. The third is move. Move. This is the third word. The fourth, suggest. Suggest, which is a verb also here. Let's think of their nouns. Determine. Determine. And the last word is defend. Defend. These are the verbs. So again, communicate, express, move, suggest, determine, and defend. These are verbs. Think with me about their nouns. As you can see, the second part of the table, we are going to find their nouns. Think about the first word, please. Communicate is a verb, and the noun is communication. Communication. Express, the second word, and the noun is expression. Expression. The third word, move or verb, and the noun is movement. Movement. Suggest as a verb, the noun is suggestion. Suggestion. Determine is a verb, the noun is determination. Determination. The last word, defend, is a verb, and the noun is defense. Defense. So, the verbs here we have again, very quickly, let's check our answers. Communicate, communication. Express, expression. Move, movement. Suggest, suggestion. Determine, determination. Defend, defense. These are the words, and I hope that you have understood them, sorry. And now let's move to the text, which is talking about body language. Does our body have a language? Yes, it does. Let's see. And as you can see here, the picture, you have some people doing some movement in their bodies, and they are telling us something from these ones. And in your book, you have a boy, and they are showing us 4 pictures about the boy. And the first question said, describe the boy's feelings in each picture. How do you find the boy? What is he doing? Is he smiling, crying, afraid, frustrated, whatever? And how did you know the boy's feeling? How did we know that? By, of course, looking at his facial expressions. By the facial expressions, he is telling us how does he feel. Is there any way we can understand people without talking? Explain. How can we understand people without talking? So here the most important question is that what is the way which make us able to understand people without talking? And now in the text they will give us these answers, the answers for these questions. Here, as you can see, we have some signs, okay? And we'll start with the body language, which says, now, the word body language refers to the non-verbal signals that we use to communicate. Non-verbal, which means non-spoken. We give signs, but we don't speak. So here they say body language refers to the non-verbal signals that we use to communicate. And also, according to the experts, they say that these signals make up a huge part of our daily communication, from our facial expressions to our body movements. So according to the experts, they said that these signs or signals, these signals make up a huge part of our daily communication, from our facial expressions to our body movements. For example, sometimes if you're making noise in the class, what the teacher will do, just will look at you and put her finger on her mouth, and in this sign you know that you should be silent. Now let's talk about feelings. How can signals or movements convey the feeling of the person to us? Now, a smile can indicate approval or happiness. Nobody's smiling and he's sad, right? So here, a smile can indicate approval or happiness. Whereas a frown can signal or can be a signal of disapproval or unhappiness. So a frown means that you are not approving of this thing or you are unhappy. So here, there is a very big difference between smiling and frowning. Our facial expressions may reveal our true feelings about a particular situation while we are pretending to be fine. So our facial expressions, when we see somebody, that's why when we talk on the social media, nobody knows our feeling exactly. We can pretend that we are fine. We can say we are fine, but we are not. So here, but in our facial expressions, all people can know well our true feelings by looking at us. So here they say, our facial expressions may reveal, may make our feelings appear and gives the true feelings about a particular situation while we are pretending, we are telling the lie, we are telling a lie, we are not telling the truth, we are pretending that we are fine. Happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, disgust, and fear. All these are emotions and they can be seen on the face and they can be seen very clearly on our faces. We can't hide them. So happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, disgust, and fear are emotions can be seen very clearly on the face. Facial expressions, in fact, can determine if we can trust a person or believe what he is saying or not. So when we look at the face, we can know if the person, we can immediately discover if the person is lying or telling the truth. So here, facial expressions can determine if we can trust a person or believe what he is saying. And here we have some faces. I know most of you know the social media and you find these faces on your mobiles. If you want to express it, you're happy, you're surprised, you're frustrated, you're afraid, etc. All these faces are there for the people in order to show how do they feel and to help them when they are writing or sending some messages on their mobiles or laptops. Now, we have, as you can note here, we have a big picture telling us that these are the 11 types of body language. Every sign of them gives you a meaning. And here they say, universal forms of body language. They are, for example, the expressions used to convey fear, anger, sadness, and happiness are similar throughout the whole world, which means all people when they are happy they smile or laugh, all people when they are sad they cry or feel upset, but they don't do the opposite way. So that's why we say that they are universal. Everybody can understand you without talking, even if they don't know your language from your face. Now, some signs of the body or movements, for example, like crossing legs away from another person when you are sitting and crossing your legs away from another person. This may indicate dislike or discomfort with that individual in particular. So you are not happy with this person, so that's why you are crossing your legs away from this person and you don't like him. So crossing legs away from another person may indicate dislike or discomfort with this person. Now, crossing the arms can indicate defense, being self-protective. So when you cross your arms, it gives a sign or a message to the person in front of you that you are in a way or in a position of that you are blocking your arms and you are defending yourself and you want to protect yourself from their attack. So that's why crossing the arms can indicate defense and being self-protective. You don't want anyone to help you. You want to protect yourself from these people. Okay? Now, clasping the hands, we find some people who are walking in the streets and their hands are behind their backs. So clasping the hands behind the back might indicate that the person is feeling bored, anxious, or even angry. And at the same time, we feel that this person has no evaluation for time. He is not caring about his time. So that's why he's walking in a way, clasping his hand, feeling bored and anxious. So the person, most of this, we find it with people who are old, or some of them after retirement. You feel that they have no value for the time. Time has nothing to do with them. So they are bored. They have the same routine of daily life. So we find people, old people especially, they clasp their hands behind their back, and to indicate that they are feeling bored, they are anxious, they are angry, because they have nothing to do. Whereas rapidly tapping the fingers when you are angry or you are waiting for something, so you are tapping the fingers, can be a sign that a person is impatient. He is waiting for something important and he can't wait. So the word impatient, that he is in a hurry, he wants to do something very quickly, or he is frustrated. So you can do this rapidly tapping of the fingers in two cases. Either you're impatient or you're frustrated, you are upset. In fact, deaf people are very skillful at picking up visual traits. Why? Because they depend on the face to understand our feelings and understand what we are talking about, because they are trained well on using sign and body language. So that's why we find that deaf people, they are very skillful and they are very good at picking up the visual traits, which means what is shown on your face. They can read it very easily for them because they are trained on using sign and body language. They are very smart and clever people. These are all the ideas that we have here about sign language. Maybe you'll find the text in your book a little bit longer, but believe me that we are repeating the same idea. So here is we sum up all the lesson for you. We'll move to grammar. Very easy for you this time, and this is because it is the last unit in your book that they have just pronouns. So grammar today is talking about pronouns. Let's see, what are they? In fact, I prepared them, all of them for you here. For example, starting from the subject, although the book concentrates only on reflexive pronouns and possessive pronouns. But here I want you to remember with me all of them. A very quick revision about the subject pronouns here. As you can note, we have 5 counts of pronouns. The first is subject, then object, adjective, possessive, and reflexive. Let's start with the subject pronouns. Subject pronouns, as you can note on the board here, I, he, she, it, you, we, and they. When we change them into object pronouns, I becomes me, he becomes him, she becomes her, it stays it as it is. The same for you. And as you know, we have you for the singular and plural at the same time. We becomes us, they becomes them. These are object pronoun. What is the difference between them? The subject pronoun we start at the beginning of the sentence, whereas object pronouns come after the main verb immediately. For example, I helped, or my mother helps me every day. So helps me. Me here is the object. He helps them every week. He helps them. Them here is also the object pronoun. Moving to adjective possessive. Why we call them adjective possessive? Because we have the pronoun followed by a noun that we possess. We have it. For example, when we say, this is my book. So we don't have my alone. It should be followed by a noun of anything that we possess. So here, with I, we say, this is my book, his book, her book. And for it, because it is for for example, animals or anything else, so we say its milk. If it is a cat, small cat, so we say this is its milk. Your book or your books. For singular, we say your book, and for plural, your books. Our books and their books. Moving to the possessive alone without the adjective. Here, these possessive, in fact, most of them come at the end of the sentence and we don't have a noun after them. Because the noun we are talking about is mentioned previously when we say, for example, I say, this red car is mine. So no need to say, is my car. So that's why we put the word, this possessive pronoun at the end of the sentence. So I, it becomes mine. He becomes his. Her, she becomes hers. We add s. It becomes its. You becomes yours. We becomes ours. They becomes theirs. So the possessive pronouns, mine, his, hers, its, yours, ours, theirs. We move now to reflexive pronouns. What does mean reflexive? Why they say reflexive? Because it refers to myself. It reflects itself to me. So we find the word self in all of the pronouns. For example, you say, I prepare this coffee myself. I prepare this coffee myself. Or you can say, they repair their car themselves. They repair their car themselves. So here, reflexive pronoun. I, it becomes myself. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. You, yourself or yourselves. In the plural, selves. We change the F into V and then we add ES. We, ourselves. They, themselves. So the reflexive pronouns are myself, himself, herself, itself, yourself or yourselves, ourselves, themselves. Dear students, these are all the pronouns. Again, I'm going to read them very quickly for you in order just to try to repeat after me if you like. Subject pronouns, I, he, she, it, you, we, they. Object pronouns, me, him, her, it, you, us, them. Adjective possessive, my book, his book, her book, its milk, your book, your books, our books, their books. Possessive, mine, his, hers, its, yours, ours, theirs. Reflexive, myself, himself, herself, itself, yourself or yourselves, ourselves, and themselves. That's all about the pronouns. Now, let's move to an exercise to check if you remember them and you can answer this exercise easily or not. Look at the first sentence, my dear students. It says, signals, and of course the exercise is from the text itself. So they say, look for the pronouns and complete the sentences from your text, from your book. Signals make up a huge part of daily communication. I'll read them for you and then I'll check with you the answers. Number 2, it says, it was suggested that body language may account for about 60% of all communication. Sentence number 3 says, expressions may reveal, and then we have space, true feelings about particular situation. 4. While you say that you are feeling fine, the look on your face may tell people otherwise. Sentence number 5. Arms and legs can also be useful in conveying nonverbal information. Rapidly tapping fingers can be a sign that a person is bored. Now I'll give you 1 minute to answer what are the suitable pronouns to use here. Yeah, number 1, let's do the exercise together. Now they say, signals make up a huge part of our daily life, our daily communication. So the pronoun here is our daily communication. It was suggested that body language, yes, what is the answer? Yes, itself. Body language, itself. So, because the body language, we have the pronoun it refers to the word body language. So, that's why we put the reflexive pronoun itself. So, it was suggested that body language itself may account for about 60% of all the communication. Number 3, expressions may reveal, yes, what is the answer? Our true feeling, right, our true feelings about a particular situation. So, expressions may reveal our true feelings about a particular situation. Number 4, while you say that you are, yes, what is the answer, dear students? Yeah, yourself. You, yourself. So, also here it is a reflexive pronoun because you're talking about yourself. So while you say that you are yourself feeling fine, the look on your face may tell people otherwise. 5, otherwise, which means the opposite. 5, arms and legs, yes, themselves, because here we have 2 arms and legs, so themselves can also be useful in conveying nonverbal information. So arms and legs themselves can also be useful in conveying nonverbal information. The last sentence, number 6, said rapidly tapping. Because here we have the word person, we can say his or her. Both are correct. We can say his or her fingers can be a sign that a person is bored. So rapidly tapping his or her fingers can be a sign that a person is bored. So in this exercise, we use some of the possessive pronouns and some of the reflexive ones. Let's read them very quickly. Signals make up a huge part of our daily communication. It was suggested that body language itself may account for about 60% of all communication. 3, expressions may reveal our true feelings about a particular situation. 4, while you say that you are yourself feeling fine, the look on your face may tell people otherwise. 5, arms and legs themselves can also be useful in conveying nonverbal information. 6, rapidly tapping his or her fingers can be a sign that a person is bored. Excuse me. The last. Okay, now the last, at last, and not I want just to thank all the people who help us to present these lessons for you. And The big thank for the supervisor, Miss Lubna Abu Saleh. It is me, Meisaء Khalaf, was with you, and thank you so much. Wish you the best of luck in your exams. If God wills, you will be the best.